and then we can, discuss on that.
This call is now being recorded.
Yeah, as we are aware, today's session is on mastering the game of selling. All are excited? If excited, please type in the chat box yes. So the chat box will be a communication for us during the presentation. At the end, we can, have a cross discussion about the question and answers. Good. About my introduction, as I am Pawan Arya, I am B Mechanical and PGDBM in sales and operations from IIM Lucknow. I'm having 18 years of experience with companies like Honda Cars, Case New Holland, and JCB. I'm author of Amazon best-selling book, Mastering the Game of Selling. I'm trained by Tony Robbins and certified firewalker. I'm an avid traveler. In the last 5 years, I've traveled 15 plus countries and get a wonderful experience. I'm actually a market creator and a B2B sales leader, and you can accelerate your sales performance and close more deals. This is my book, Mastering the Game of Selling. This book is actually the step-by-step guide from prospect identification, negotiation to closing the sales. And the best part about this book, the profit from this book is donated to orphanages. So this book is for a social cause with a ambition to teach you about the selling. So these are a few glimpses of book handover at various places. I was invited by various colleges, business association meets for the presentations, and the book review has been presented, published in various magazines and by various senior people. So my mission is to educate and empower salespeople to achieve their personal goals and business targets. Now we are coming to the first chapter, the game of selling. Excited? Yeah. So good salespeople are not born, they are trained. It is important to understand that selling is an art, and you can learn this art by sharpening your saw. If you are in the field with your experience, with your interaction with the customers, you learn a lot. And you can excel in the game of selling by practicing the best sales techniques and continuously hone up your skills. And this book is actually the outcome of my experiences. When I moved into sales, I find out the people are not actually trained, they are lacking somewhere. So I penned down those experiences and created this book. The second chapter explain about, from the beginning, what is sales? Can you please write in the chat box, according to you, what is sales? What you believe, what the sales is? Is sales is the opening of a relationship? Is it beginning? Is it transaction? What is sales? Please write in a chat box. In the meantime, people are writing, I am covering the first, a theoretical definition of the sales. A sales is the exchange of a commodity or money as the price of good or a service. Sales is an activity related to selling or the amount of goods or services sold in a given time period. This is a theoretical definition. Rekha ji likhte hain, sales is the beginning of a relationship. That's true. Sale is actually the beginning of a relationship with a customer, with a client. So in the sales process, we need to follow some steps, and these are the steps. One is the prospecting, lead management. If you want to sell something, selling is not an easy job. You need to have the prospects in your hand. You need to manage your leads. You need to generate your leads for your sales business. And as soon as you start getting your prospects, your lead, you need to qualify those leads. You need to make a plan, a pre-call planning to what to share about the prospects, what to share about the client. And you need to make your right presentation. You need to make the right commitment and the follow-up to get the order. Sanjay ji, right. Sale is building relationship. You're exactly right. So in the sales process, there are four key, parameters, four pillars. One is the marketing. Marketing is a lead generator, because nowadays people are just relying on sales team to get the lead, to close the lead, but marketing plays very, very important role. And then your sales team, your effective sales team, your superstar sales team performs and do wonders for closing the deal. And the credibility and building trust with your customer is really, really important. Nowadays, if the people are doing business with whom they trust, if they're trusting you, if they have a trust in you, they know your credibility, then only can they business with you. And at last, customer satisfaction is a key important parameter. So what's the difference between sales and marketing? What is sales? Sales, and actually in sales process, we identify our target prospects and approach them. Sales is a one-to-one process to identify the customer needs and problems and provide the solutions and products based on his requirement. Now, what is marketing? Marketing, actually in marketing, we create the brand with the help of 4 P's of market strategy: our product, the place, the segment we are planning, promotion, and pricing. In marketing, the message is to provide to many customers through advertisement, customer meetings, sale promotion, branding activities, online marketing, Facebook marketing, social media marketing. With the help of marketing, you create leads, you create target audience, you create suspects, and you convert those suspects into prospects. Then actually the role of sales team starts. So what is sales personalities? This article was published in Harvard Business Review. And at HP, at Harvard Business School, they define 8 types of personalities. One is experts. As per Harvard Business School, there are 9% of the salespeople come under expert category. They are all rounders and have the required characteristics and passion for sales. Then the closers, 13% of the sales executive considered as closers. Their talking style is smooth. They have the required expertise for sales closing. They know how to approach and how to close the deals. 15% of the sales fraternity act like a consultant in this field. They have the required listening and problem solving skills. It observed that they are not pushing sales to full potential. And most of the salespeople, about 60%, are the sales architect. They are playing the roles of sales architect. They develop the market, they provide the required awareness of the product, they provide the required information to the customer, and just create the awareness. So 63% of the people are coming into sales architect. And remaining personalities are like this: storyteller. These kinds of salespeople are customer focused and love case studies. They have focused meeting agenda. They share product features, need to work on listening skills. They share stories with customer, how this, what they are doing in the field, what the product is doing, and they are not good in closing the sales. Then narrators. These guys just rely on marketing material. They come short on challenging questions. They just go through the marketing material and explain it to customers. And fewer aggressors. These type of sales personalities are price negotiators. They just go and started talking about the pricing and try to close the order based on the pricing itself. And 8th are the socializers. They make friends instead of deals. They need guidance on how to convert chit chat into sales closing. These guys make good social contacts, but are not good in closing. So this is a wonderful sales statistic shared by National Sales Executive Association. It says 48% of the salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. And you know what the outcomes? Outcome is 2% of sales are made on the first contact, 3% of sales are made on the second contact, 5% sales are made on the third contact, 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact, and 80% of the sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. How many of you are agree? If you are agree, type yes in the chat box. And how many have you experienced? Yes, right. Umeshji, right. Because you cannot convince a customer on a first meeting, or even on a second meeting. It's like a dating. You have to go through step-by-step, a step-by-step process. That's why in a 5th to 12th meeting, you close the actual sale. Now I'm coming to the third chapter, the sales executive and the qualities of sales executive. And I'm going to share with you the mantra to be an excellent and successful sales manager in your career. And sales executive actually is more important because they are the face of your organization. For example, you are buying a Hyundai car. The, the general managers or even the MD and CEO is not coming to sell you. The guy who is on the ground, who is in the field is coming to sell you a car. So the sale executive plays a very, very important role. They're the face of your organization. And what are the qualities required? The one is the physical appearance. The salesman knowledge and personality plays a very important role in closing the sale. You judge the company based on the appearance of a salesman. You make up your mind based on the salesman appearance, his approach, his experience. Second is the reputation and credibility. A salesperson reputation is the most valuable asset. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care about them. A actual salesman create a reputation for himself and a credibility for his company. He's creating the market for his company's product, because people believes in him. They know him as a face of the organization. And third, as a sales executive, as a sales manager, you should have a thorough product knowledge. The salesman should be thorough with his product knowledge. He should be aware about the complete technical details of the product, because as a sales executive, you are representing about the product, about your company. You should know each feature, function, benefit, safety feature of your product. And next important is industry knowledge. As a salesman, the knowledge of industry is required. You should know what competition is offering, what's the size of the industry, what's your market share. And the pricing knowledge, as a sales executive, should know the product pricing. Most of the time I have experience. Salespeople are not aware about the right pricing of the product. They go back to the organization, come with a pricing sheet or a quotations. Application knowledge, as a sales executive, as a sales manager, the product applications, the way customer can get the benefit, you should have the complete know-how. Competition knowledge, as a sales executive, should know about the complete details of the competition product, the positive and negative in the available product range. And soft skills, as a salesman, you should be familiar about the soft skill, like how to introduce yourself to the prospect, how to ask for permission for meeting, product presentation, and closing. So I have explained number of characteristics required in a sales executive. The self-confidence. Salesman's self-confidence plays very, very important role. While visiting and meeting with customer, he should be self-confident. A customer, a buyer, sees first confidence in a sales executive for his product, for his company, and that makes his decision. Now, based on that, he makes his decision that, yeah, if a salesman is confident about his product, then definitely the product will be good. How many of you agree? If you are agree, please write yes in the chat box. And the other few qualities required in a sales executive. One is he should be honest. His intention should always resolve to customer concern. Attitude and motivation. His attitude plays a very important role. He should be self-motivated. Patience and persistence. Patience and persistence is utmost important in sales. I think you definitely heard about the Chinese bamboo tree story, which grows 80 feet tall in 6 weeks. Are you aware that when you plant a bamboo tree, you have to give it water, you need to give it fertilizer year on year? After the first year, a farmer cannot see anything, that nothing is coming out. Second year, third year, fourth year, in fifth year, a small portion started coming out from the ground. And within 6 weeks, a 80 feet tall trees comes out that is known as a bamboo tree. Have you thought what is happening in the first 5 years? The bamboo tree was working on his root, because if you like to, he'll like to grow so fast for 80 feet. To manage that height, he need to, work on his root. His root plays very important role. And like in the sale, we need to work on ourselves, on our customer. We have to be patient. We need to keep persisting him, and that one day you will find a good sale. And in sales, handling of rejection is very, very important. And sales is actually a rejection business. As per 80-20 law, you get 20% success while meeting with 100 prospects. I think you all are agree that sale is a rejection business. Please type yes in the chat box. And last, more important, the passion for selling. You have to be passionate about your selling profession, because in sales, number of times you get no, and no means for a salesperson is next opportunity. So I've covered number of qualities required in a sales executive. So I'm coming to the fourth chapter of my book, because I'm just giving a overview of the book. Prospecting, and prospecting is a first step for sales. When you are into sales journey, when you are into sales, you need prospects, and so sale is not an easy job. If you got one product to sell, you need customer, you need prospect, and some mantra for selling is good number of prospects. Your funnel should always be full of prospects, and as a salesman, you need to keep your funnel full with lot of prospects. It's the lifeline for a salesman. So how you can get lot of prospects, and the sources of new prospects to generate new prospects? One can do the following activities. One, same industries where you got the success. The best way to start prospecting is to look for the industries or segments where your product has proven its value. So before going into the market, you need to identify the right segment, right market, right target audience, and then you start prospecting in that field, either through social media, through LinkedIn, through Facebook, and by contacting the customer, giving demonstration. So prospecting plays very important role. Second is referral from existing customer. You can easily get the reference from your existing customer. The best way to promote product is to get the referrals from existing customers. And industry association meet. Another good opportunity you can grab is by promoting your product in various association meet. Nowadays, every sector is having their associations. You can approach them. You can get a chance to present your product, present your company in their association meets. During this COVID period, you can go online with the help of video conferencing. You can go into any of the association meet. Every association is conducting their meet. You have a good opportunity to get the right prospect. Cold calling, no doubt, it's still prevailing in the market. Is one of the oldest and best method till today. You can call someone and introduce about yourself and your product. Yes, Mr. Nagpal, referral policy plays very vital role in promoting the sales. I'm 100% agree with you. I'm going to cover about referral policy. So next, you got the prospect, you give the right presentation, and now you are at a negotiation stage. And negotiation is general human behavior. Every customer, before making a final purchase, asks for better price and services. Is a human tendency. So negotiation is an important milestone which needs to be crossed with care to get the final order from the customer. It should be a win-win situation for both the buyer and the seller. We also need to understand the type of negotiators. When you're going to the market, sometimes you find soft bargainers. These people see negotiation as too close to competition. So they choose to a gentle style of bargaining with showing you quotations and the market pricing. And sometimes you face hard bargainers. These people use contentious strategies to influence, utilizing phrases such as, "This is my final offer, take it or leave it." So these guys are hard bargainers. So you know which type of person you are interacting with. And sometimes you find a principled bargainers, individuals who bargain this way, seek integrative solution and do so by sidestepping commitment to specific positions. So plan and prepare your negotiation strategy. So in my book, I have covered a lot on negotiation, the techniques of negotiation, the strategies of negotiation. So now I'm coming to the next, closing the sale. How many are excited? Say yes. If you're excited about closing the sales, the techniques required for closing the sales, because in sales, techniques are required for closing the sales. You cannot just close based on your experience every time. And a sale is not something you pursue. It's what happens to you while you are immersed in serving your customer. So closing the sale. The most important part in sales process is closing the sale and getting the purchase order from the customer. This is your lifeline. And in closing techniques, in sales, the most important part is to ask for the order from the prospect. So I'm sharing few techniques. One is Ben Franklin sales closing technique. It devised by a scientist known as Ben Franklin from Philadelphia, USA. And this technique is also called as a balance sheet closing technique. So I'm just going to explain this one technique. So Ben Franklin sales closing technique is very unique, is very successful. In this technique, you need to prepare a balance sheet in front of a customer. On the one side, on the left side, you start talking about your product features, benefits, your service solutions, your pricing, each and everything what you're offering. And on the right side, you start writing or even convince customer to write about the competition product for which he is comparing to. So you can prepare a good balance sheet. So your left side, your asset side should be strong, so that at the end of your discussion, customer find out that you are having the right product for him at the right pricing. So this technique is known as a Ben Franklin sales closing technique. So second is alternative option close. In this technique, the salesman offer various alternative to the customer in terms of variant, in terms of pricing, in terms of colors, in terms of models, as per the customer need and requirement. What is a direct order? In this technique, the salesperson directly asks for the order from the prospect. Is known as a simple sale process. Assumptive close. In this sales closing technique, the salesperson assumes that the buyer has decided for the product and he asks for the purchase order and system for billing from the customer. Sales by product demo. This sales process is like puppy dog sales technique. And this is again a very, I'm going to explain about it. This is very wonderful technique. In this technique, you provide a product to the customer as a demonstration. For example, AquaGuard, the guys comes at your place, they explain the product, show you a demo, and you feel satisfied and purchase. It's known as a puppy dog because it's started in the same manner. The person started giving puppy dog to a family for a demonstration for a day or two, and in a day they start loving that puppy. And at the end they said that they would like to buy this puppy dog. So that's why this technique is known as a puppy dog sales technique. So success story close. It's again people would like to buy the products which are successful, which are proven in the market. So success story close, sales close is most powerful closing technique. People don't want to try on themselves. If somebody has tried it and experienced it and they are happy, then based on their story, their feedback, their testimonials, they would like to buy the product. Next is reference selling. As Mr. Nagpal explained about the reference selling, no doubt reference selling is very strong technique. I believe that reference selling is very important part of selling process. You can also call it as a relationship selling. When you sold some product to someone, provided the required services to them, and maintain a relationship, then you can ask for a reference based on the relationship. And you contact the prospect based on the reference provided by your existing customer or your friend or relative, and that prospect will give you time, will give you value, because they know that you are referred by someone. So it's a wonderful selling technique. If you have proven at one place, you can go and try this at various points, various customers, various locations. This is a wonderful selling technique. Thanks, Sanjay ji. Thanks for sharing your views. You can type your views, you can type your comments in the chat box. I can look your comments. Definitely, I will cover all those points. So I'm in sales. The point is goal setting, because sale is a mind game, and everything in life is a mind game. How many of you agree that sale is a mind game? Your life is a mind game. Please type yes in the chat box. Yes, goal setting is very important for every individual. You must write down your personal and professional goals. And goals in writing are dreams with deadline is by Brian Tracy. And I've attended, personal programs of Tony Robbins, trained by him. He said that setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into visible. And he mentioned that what would like to achieve in life, firstly, write it down on a diary, on a paper. So you know that what would you like to achieve, like in your personal life, in sales, in professional life, write down the goals, that what target you would like to achieve in coming months. That is really important. And I'm explaining about that goals should be SMART. S stands for specific. Always plan for specific goals. Measurable. Your goal should be measurable. You can measure it in terms of quantity. Thanks, Pradeep ji. Thanks for your feedback. And achievable. Your goals should be achievable. The goal should be achievable and keep you motivated to achieve it. Realistic. Always plan for realistic goals. Time bound. The goal should be time bound. Always plan for short-term and long-term goals. If you can apply this goal setting on your professional and personal front. So I'm now discussing about for goal setting exercise, you need to plan the personal, mental, physical, family, financial, and spiritual goals. So During this exercise, I can give you 4 to 5 minutes. Please take down pen and paper, and I'm going to explain you the goal setting exercise to you. Yeah, you can take out please your pen and paper, and when you're ready, please type R for ready in the chat box. So your personal goals are your own goals, right, Gauravji? Your personal goals are your own goals for your career and growth in life. Plan short-term and long-term goals for yourself. First, mental goals. Your mental goals are your educational goals. Always be learning. When you stop learning, then your growth curve will start to decline. So always sharpen your saw. That is required in your life. Physical goals. Your physical goals are your health goals. A healthy man can only achieve his goals and can work for his passion. Somebody has well said that health is wealth. I think something happened with the slide. Yeah. So physical goals. So we have covered 3 goals: your personal goals, your mental goals, your physical goals. And the next is your family goals. Family is the most important part of your life journey. Nothing is permanent in life, but your family will stay with you in face of your life. Always plan for the family. I think you have experienced everything during this COVID era. Nothing is permanent. You only have to be at home with your families. You have to focus right on your physical goals and your mental goals and work on your personal goals. Next is financial goals. Finance is the driver of the life. You must plan for your financial goals wisely. Early start is the key to wealth generation. And we have seen during this COVID era, a lot of people have lost their job. A lot of people are struggling to survive during these 2-3 months. Big and big organizations are collapsing. A bigger organization, which are claiming big in their, throughout the years, within 2 and 3 months, they are not able to survive. So this is really, really important. Spiritual goals. For peaceful and happy life, start planning your spiritual goals. Start meditation.
Pawan, sorry, Pawan, to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but I think your screen has gone off. And if you can just project your screen, that would be great.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Again,
So yeah. So you need to project that screen because that has gone as one of the viewer.
Okay.
So if you can just project that, that would be great.
Resume your presentation, right? I think it's visible again. That's fine. If it's visible, please type yes in the chat box. If I'm audible, loud and clear, please write LNC in the chat box. Thanks for confirmation. So in the goal setting, we discussed about your personal goals, your mental goals, your physical goals, family goals, financial goals, and spiritual goals. So today, please write your goals, because when ideas have value when you act upon them. Today, please write your goal. So in the chapter 8, I discussed about sharpening the saw. Abraham Lincoln once said, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. And this is really required. If you're not continually learning and upgrading your skills, somewhere someone else is. And when you meet that person, you will lose. By Reed Buckley. So it is very, very important to sharpening the saw. So in my book, I've explained that you please spend few hours. If you don't hours, you can spend just 30 minutes a day to read a book, because leaders are readers. And when you read, you gain something. Read related to your industry, read related to the topics you learn, you like, and it change your thought process. It gives you, because someone is writing, he's reading minimum 50 to 100 books. And when you are reading one book, you are actually reading the outcome, the summary of 50 to 60 books. I'm sharing my experience. When I started writing this book, I read a lot of books on sales, listen a lot of podcasts, audios for writing this a simple book. Nowadays I'm writing another book on work, life, and success mantra. So I'm reading a lot. I'm interacting with a lot of successful people to get the insight for that. So this is the last chapter of the book, which is Pareto Law. And what is Pareto Law and how it is applicable to sales? Pareto Law is based actually, devised by Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto, and it is applicable everywhere. Pareto Law is 80-20 rule, which says 20% of sales team generate 80% of the business. It states that in every walk of life, 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. And it's true. You can find out that 80% of the wealth is with actually 20% of the people worldwide. And if you see in the field, 80% of the business is always generated by 20% of the team. So Pareto Law is applicable everywhere. You have to try to be in the 20% of that successful people, of that successful team who's generating 80% of orders, who's generating 80% of wealth. So you need to work as per the Pareto Law in your life. So this is the last slide of my presentation. You don't close a sale, you open a relationship. And at the last is happy selling. Thank you. You can join me on the LinkedIn, and you can go to amazon.in for a few seconds, type mastering the game of selling. And if you like to buy this book, if you like to, like the whole idea of the book, the summary of the book, you can go and buy and read, and you can recommend it to your friends, families, and everyone. Thanks a lot. Yes, I'm open